well, Jillian here loves a little scratch behind the ears, and
Yes,
I'm
she
happy
does.
to oblige as we bring in our guests over here. Dr. Jerome Williams, you're a regular on our program.
Yes.
But our special guest today is Dr. David Dismikes with Veterinary Surgery of Birmingham, and we're talking about really keeping our pets safe, keeping them on those leashes, because a lot can happen, right? From the front door to wherever they end up.
Absolutely. This time of year, we just see so many animals that are getting outside to enjoy the weather and not being kept behind fences or on their leash when they're out at the park or just walking down the road, and accidents happen. We see that almost at least a few times every week.
So let's talk about the accident you're seeing. You're talking about just getting hit by cars?
Hit by car is the most common accident that we see, and a lot of times it's what we call a big dog, little dog, where there's multiple dogs that are not appropriately kept on leashes, and they run into each other, and a dog fight happens, and we see fractures from that very commonly as well.
So, Dr. Williams, they show up at your office first, right?
Right. Most time we will see them, but we're general practitioners, so there are many surgeries that we're just not competent and equipped to repair. So we have to refer them to veterinary surgeons like Dr. Dismikes.
And you've got a couple of x-rays to show us, right?
We did, yes.
Okay, so some of those x-rays are showing what? Fractures
They're
of...
just fractures, some of the common fractures. That's an elbow fracture in a dog that has broken into 3 pieces.
Oh,
and
my
we had to
Lord, look
repair
at that.
That is
plates and
difficult to
screws
repair.
and a lot of hardware in there, and that dog's elbow will never be the same after being hit by a car.
So that dog will walk with a limp?
Most likely from arthritis because of the joint damage. This is a dog that should do really well after this kind of surgery. Just a mid bone fracture of the shin bone. That's the shin bone. The knee there is at the top of the X-ray, and that's another plate with screws and multiple screws. That was another hit by car. And it's things easily avoidable. That this one is a cat that unfortunately had an irreparable spinal fracture right in the middle of the spine.
Oh yeah, you can
broken in
see
2
it.
places.
It looks like a road collapse right there.
Yeah.
That cat's paralyzed, I would assume, is it not?
Lord.
Because the spine is severed.
That's right. That's a permanent paralysis there. That's not repairable. So that's not a good situation. This is another front limb fracture right above the wrist that was just stabilized with a splint and a bandage that should heal in a nice little puppy. So those are all examples of things that are easily avoidable with appropriate fencing and leashes, and we just see it all the time. It's a sometimes repairable situation, and more often than not, on the emergency side of things, a lot of times those patients don't even make it to us. And it's a tragic thing that could be avoided with a simple leash or a fence.
And money is concerned for almost all of us, and repairing those kind of fractures take a skill level that most of us general practitioners don't have, and it's costly to all of our clients and patients.
It can get up into the thousands of dollars, couldn't it?
Right around the cost of a nice fence.
Wow. Yeah. So
we're in the fence.
It's so much better to be on the proactive side than the
Absolutely.
reactionary side.
Absolutely.
And having a pet really injured.
Yes, yeah, there's a lot. Our emergency clinic sees them every night and every day. They see dogs and cats that have been hit by a car.
So there is a leash law in many cities. Keep your dog on a leash or keep him behind the fence, and we'll solve a lot of problems, won't we?
Yes.
All right, doctors, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right.